Hey, this is Will with Resurgent Arms, and today we took one for the team and bought a bunch of angled foregrips so you don't have to. We've got the BCM KAG, Strike Industries LinkCurve foregrip, we got the Magpul AFG1, Magpul AFG2, and we're also going to look at the Midwest Industries Barricade Stop because I'm honestly curious if it works or not. Now, before we get started, when do you want a foregrip? Because anything you add to your rifle is going to add weight. So when do you want one of these? The short answer is if the front of your rifle on the handguards sucks to hold onto, the AFG can help with that. Imagine a set of handguards where the bottom is really rough, like maybe it's a quad rail or something like that. An AFG can basically go on here and it just replaces up to the entire bottom surface for you. Now, a lot of guys as well have trouble with the Picatinny rail on top of the rifle. Like if you're wrapping your thumb over, right, then you're putting a ton of pressure on this uncomfortable rail. So you can do something like go AFG on bottom, and then you can grab something like this. It's a rubber rail panel. You cut it to size, and then that goes directly opposite your AFG. So these two things put together, you've got a really nice little spot to hold on to. Now, why does that matter? Well, if this thing sucks to hold on to, every single moment you're using this thing, it's going to be distracting for you, which means you're going to be slower and make less accurate shots. So angled foregrip and one of these rail panels can go a long way towards fixing that. So that's pretty much the main idea here. All right, let's get into it. First up, the BCM KAG. So I got that installed in my preferred position. So let's try it out. Nice. I actually like that. I like that a lot. It functions very well as a hand stop. I'm able to kind of hook my fingers on that hand stop, and it actually, I don't need to use nearly as much grip strength to get the kind of backwards pressure that I'm looking for to stabilize those shots. I like the angle of it. I like the angle of it a lot. I like the texturing, and I like the width. You know, it honestly feels pretty good. I could see using this. You know, it's simple and gets the job done. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next up is Strike Industries. So let's try this out. It's okay, honestly, it's okay. Like this angle for the hand stop right there, I can hook it pretty well. Shoot, my issue with this one is it's just too thin. Honestly, it's too thin. When I'm holding it, it's like my brain is constantly noticing how thin that thing is, and it's distracting. Shoot, that sucks because I really wanted to like this thing. I mean, I think it looks awesome. It's got what looks like a pretty good barricade stop on the front end of that. Build quality is amazing. Personally, I wouldn't run this thing. And, you know, keep in mind, this is my subjective opinion. Like, I know guys who run these and they're really, really into them. Just for me personally, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It actually, for me, it would defeat the purpose of running an AFG, which would be to reduce distractions, not increase them. But for now, personally, would not run it. All right, Magpul AFG first impressions. Let's go. That is pretty good. Pretty darn good. Not quite as comfortable for me personally as BCM's KAG, but at the same time, this is doing more than the KAG. The KAG is just a hand stop, whereas Magpul's AFG is going to replace the entire bottom surface there. So with the KAG, I'm still touching the handguard. With the AFG, I am completely on the AFG, on the bottom. And I gotta say, it's comfortable. I like this texture. It's grippy, while not being too aggressive. It is, and it's nice and wide. You can see it's actually even wider than the M-LOK surface is. I dig this. I dig this a lot. It functions very well as a hand stop and also as an AFG. So far, this is probably my favorite kind of all-in-one AFG. It does everything. All right, let's move on to the next one. Wanted to say a couple things about the AFG2 before I install it. The first is that it's actually not an M-LOK product. You have to buy a separate rail segment to make this work. This was 10 bucks. So we'll talk about price at the end when I give my final thoughts, but just, right off the bat, I am a little bit annoyed because, come on, it's 2021. This should be M-LOK. Let's be realistic here. There was also a cool feature I wanted to show you. This thing actually comes apart, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just open that up right now. And the reason that you might want to do this is because this little nub right here, you can actually swap it out. Am I missing something? Yes, there are other. Okay, so you got to undo all of these. So let's go ahead and do that. Really, Magpul? Really, you're going to make me get a different sized hex wrench? Okay, hold on a sec. All right, we're back with the 7/64 hex key. Apparently that's a thing, and it's a thing that is not included, which, make of that what you will. But anyway, now I can finally go ahead and undo these other screws. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so this was what I wanted to show you. This comes apart by a mechanism that I'm not yet familiar with. I think you push these, I want to say. Maybe there's some force in this direction? Am I missing something here? I have a college degree, folks. College degree. All right. Let's see if I can apply some pressure to this. I think that, you know what? Let's look this up online. Now I feel like an idiot. Okay, so, all right, here's what I'm supposed to do. Get there. That went down or up? Down or up? Can't tell. Oh, man. What is going on? Separate two. Holding the AFG upside down, fold the two halves outwards. I swear to God. Just spread it apart. Just spread it apart like a clamshell. It's not a big deal. All right, take 3. This thing, I could not for the freaking life of me figure out how to get this apart. Apparently what you got to do is take some kind of punch or a flathead, get it in here and pry it open, and then it just opens. I did not know that. Okay, so this opens like that. This nub comes out. Is there an orientation? Doesn't look like it. This nub comes out. This goes in. And then you can reattach this bad boy. Let me see. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We're getting there. We're getting there. Bruh. Okay, that goes like that. This goes like this. Dude, this is so difficult. Maybe, okay, maybe I do it that way. Maybe that's the way to do it. That goes in there. Oh my God. Okay, there you go. So you get these little tabs set up like that. Then you slip this in here and it kind of closes around it like that. There you go. Okay. Holy whoa, no, herb to dare. All right, hold on, let's try that. Okay, there we go. All right, I better get the frickin' screws back in here before it separates again. Whew, holy crap, that was annoying. All right, let me just let go of my annoyance and we'll do our first impressions. Here we go. You know, ergonomically, I like it. I actually really like it. It's got a good little hand stop there, so I can cinch it into my shoulder without too much grip pressure. It's very wide. It's actually, I really like that it's this wide. It gives me this really nice surface for my hand to interact with. Just like the AFG1, it's got helpful kind of anti-slip tread on there that is adds a good amount of friction without being annoying. You know, I dig it. I actually dig it. All right, last but not least, we're gonna try out this setup. I've got the BCM KAG as a hand stop, and then we've went ahead and added in the Midwest Industries Barricade Stop to get that front stop. This one is a little bit different. It actually has these pretty intense teeth on the front, which I imagine are designed to grip the surface and prevent the rifle from sliding around. So let's go ahead and give it a go. All right, well, initial reaction is it seemed to pretty much do the job. I didn't notice the rifle sliding at all side to side, but then again, I didn't really notice that anyway. Maybe the thing to do is to try shooting at an angle to the surface. So instead of coming at a right angle, maybe come from the side so we can see what kind of difference those teeth make. So let's go ahead and try that. That definitely worked. I was at about a 45-degree angle. Dude, there's a wasp on me. All right. I was at a 45-degree angle, and I'm actually pushing on it, and it does not want to slide. In fact, you can see I'm getting even steeper and steeper with the angle. And, you know, this is a wooden porch rail, so wow, look at that. I'm at like a, look, there we go. I finally slid. Okay, so depending on the barricade you're propped against, these little, wow, it actually took off some of the paint from that. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so this thing actually does its job. If you are planning on doing a lot of shooting from barricades and, you know, you really want to kind of, you're going to be shooting from different types of barricades, this will do an awesome job propping it up for you. So I would consider that this thing is basically successful. It worked. All right, now that we've had a chance to play around with these guys, let's go ahead and do a final review. I'm going to go through each one and we're going to talk about when might you want to consider it. So BCM KAG, this you can find online for $23, making it the lowest price option. My personal opinion, if you like being in contact with the bottom of your handguards and you just want a hand stop to be able to pull against, it's tough to beat this thing on value. It is a really, really good hand stop. It does its job. Big fan. Strike Industries LinkCurve. This can be found online for $40. I really wanted to like this because I think the design looks killer. The rear hand stop is well shaped and did its job properly. Just me personally, it was too thin. It annoyed me. You know, to be fair, this is subjective. I know guys who run this and they love it. So if you're inclined to give it a try, I don't want to discourage you. Just, you know, make sure to buy from a place that has a good return policy. Magpul AFG. I found this online for $26. This is, in my opinion, probably your best all-around AFG. What I like about it is if you don't want to touch the bottom of your handguards at all, this is wide enough and comfortable enough. It will completely replace that bottom surface for you. So if you don't want to touch your handguards, you want to get a full-length AFG, this is the one I would recommend. Killer value at $26. Oh, Magpul AFG2, my arch nemesis. I'm trying to be kind here because this is not something I would personally use. What I will say is once I got it on, I actually found it to be pretty darn comfortable. If you're someone who has like massive Sasquatch hands and you just want a super wide, large surface to replace the bottom of your handguards with, this might be a good option. If you're also not running M-LOK and you're running a quad rail, this becomes a little bit cheaper and a little bit lower weight. Yeah, so those would be the use cases. You have giant monster hands and you're already running a quad rail and or don't care about price. Then that's when I would recommend this. This guy, Midwest Industries Barricade Stop. I actually was pleasantly surprised at how good a job this did. I was able to prop up against that wooden porch from like a 15-degree angle and it wouldn't slide because these teeth are so like brutally sharp. You know, so I don't know how many people are actually shooting from a barricade because I think a lot of the time, like what does this thing really do is if you're propped up against a barricade, it's almost like a bipod in how it kind of stabilizes. Now, the majority of the time, I think most folks, most builds are probably just going to want a bipod. That being said, if you do competition or for some reason you're going to be shooting off of barricades a lot, this thing actually really did a good frickin' job. 30 bucks online. So that's my quick review. I mean, there's a case to be made for each of these. If you don't really care either way, my recommendation would be to choose between these two. 23 bucks, 26 bucks, so it's killer value. They're both on the smaller side, so they're lightweight. This is the one you want to get if you want an entire surface. This is the one you probably want to get if you like your handguards and just want a hand stop. So that should about do it. This has been our Take One for the Team segment on angled foregrips. If you thought this was helpful, if you thought it was entertaining, go ahead and drop a like. And if you want to see more content from us, we're going to be doing a bunch more of these. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm Will. This is Resurgent Arms. Thanks for watching.